ended up passing away from that.
Yeah, I know he had to learn a lot from just that though.
I don't think so. I think that was the start of how he just, wanted to do it, how he first got his fame, and for him to first get his national attention from a tragedy like that, it was really just the start of like something much crazier that was gonna end up happening. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we got flagged.
What happened?
Well, I guess I thought we could just play it in the background or whatever, but I think we got flagged for playing that joint.
Oh, so it shut the thing down?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I had to restart a new stream.
Can they hear us now?
Yeah. I might be the only person watching, or us.
Dang.
I guess that's my fault. Shoot, bad judgment call. We back. We back,
y'all.
We back.
Can y'all hear us? Let me go to the new stream.
Yeah, folks will be able to still hear us. Let's see. What's up, Juicy Jammers? Yeah, folks coming back.
All right. Hey, Essie. Hey, Josh. Hey, Essie. Hey, Josh.
What up, Trey Tay? What up, Josh? What up, SE? Nah, but that is very interesting though, Juice.
Yeah.
That it took...
I don't know. What was the last thing y'all heard? We had the Diddy thing going on, and so it had flagged us.
Yeah, we got flagged and stuff. But no, I find that to be very interesting though, that he ended up throwing one of those parties and people basically end up dying. So I'm assuming that Diddy not probably, but I know he had to learn how to maneuver a little bit better after a situation like that, because, for people to die at one of your events, I mean, let alone, you don't even have all this fame yet. You still a young man out here trying to learn the ropes of everything. So hopefully he ended up learning some things from that, but maybe not, because he's in jail right now.
Yeah, it was just crazy. I think everyone should watch it just to learn a little bit of something new, something different about Diddy. It definitely shows you where his power trips came from. And that was really one of the biggest things that I kind of wanted to learn, was like, okay, how did all of this even get started? How did he even gain all of this power? Like, it's crazy.
But let me ask you this, though, just because a lot of people, especially myself, I've been feeling this way. For 50 Cent to stand 10 toes down, 50 Cent is standing 10 toes down on this documentary right here, saying, I feel good about it. And I think Diddy would actually like this documentary. Do you think this is actually, justified? Like, you know what, 50 Cent, you ain't doing no harm, or 50 Cent, you are doing harm? Because for me, I feel like he's doing a lot.
Harm to what?
Harm to Diddy. Harm to Diddy's legacy, harm to just another black man out here. We be talking about it all the time, Juice, how tough America or just the world can be on black men. Before another black man to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this documentary on you just cause I want to, probably, profit, make some monies from it. But at the same time, to smear your name through the mud, I feel like it's despicable, man. Ja Rule had hopped online just yesterday and was talking about 50 Cent. Well, he didn't mention 50 Cent's name, but if you know the relationship between 50 Cent and Ja Rule, you will understand that Ja Rule was calling 50 Cent a rat. He was like, you a rat, you always been a rat, you've always been smuck, you ain't never really ran by the code like that. You just somebody in a nice, you a car salesman in a nice suit. And it made me be like, damn, 50, like, I can't believe that, you are allowing these things to happen. Like, not even allowing, but you're participating in another black man's downfall. And like I said the other day, I truly feel like there's some animosity 50 Cent has against Diddy. I think number one is hip hop, because one of the things is everybody wants to be king of New York. I said before that it could have been Jay-Z, and probably Jay-Z is the king of New York. Diddy was looked at as the king of New York, but 50 Cent has always wanted that crown and wanted that respect. And I think this is one of the things that he sees the king down. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead, run his name through the mud, and let the internet eat him up, just as they have done for the past 2 years.
And so what are you asking me?
I'm just asking, do you think it's right or wrong, 50 Cent, for him to do this Netflix documentary?
Because you had mentioned is ruining. I think Diddy ruined himself with the things that he did. I don't think no other man can be in control of that, and I don't think no other man can be blamed for ruining Diddy, because I think all the things that Diddy has done over the years on his own willingly is what ruined him, to be honest with you. But when it comes to 50 Cent doing this, I mean, we know he's a troll. We know that he is someone who likes to be petty. And I think he just found a way to be petty and make money. It seems like he's a business guy, and he thinks in dollar signs, and he thinks in ratings and views and what's going to get the clicks. He know we all going to watch this. Like, he know we are all interested right now. And I think he's capitalizing off of the situation, and he's capitalizing off of the timing right now with dropping this documentary while Diddy is currently locked up right now.
Right. Kick it a man
But
when
to
he's
say
down.
but to say like as a black man to another black man, like I don't know. Did he ever think about that? Like as black man to another black man, you know, whenever he was doing his petty stuff too coming up? I don't know if he did. So I don't look at it as, oh, a black man taking another black man down. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like they might have some little internal beef going on, and this is how 50 Cent wanted to choose to handle it because he's just really petty, and I don't know, he was real strategic with it. That's kind of how I feel.
I would definitely say 50 Cent has been strategic in the downfall of Diddy, because this rumored documentary was set to be released almost like a whole year ago as the whole Diddy thing was happening. But now, you know, the dust has settled a little bit. I think 50 Cent, you know, going and dropping this documentary just puts more salt on the wound, you know. And that's me personally. I know he went on to go say that, you know, if he wasn't a voice to go out and speak against this, then people would feel like that this type of behavior was okay in hip hop, which it never is. All right, it never.
Why do we always bring up hip hop with stuff like this?
Because we're talking about a hip hop mogul.
Right, but I guess what I'm saying is, because it was so interesting, because like I said, I was listening to The Breakfast Club. Shout out to The Breakfast Club. And I know Charlamagne had mentioned, like, why are people saying, like, oh, what does this mean for hip hop? What does this do for hip hop? Like, why are we looking at it in that way? Like, because he had mentioned that if the shoe was on the other foot, and let's say it was a bunch of white people in Hollywood making videos about other white people in Hollywood, would we say, oh, what is this going to do for Hollywood? Da, 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 da. And I don't know if we would.
Nah,
I kind of see it from what he's saying is, why are we bringing hip hop into it when this seems like it's just some petty beef?
Look, I love Charlamagne, but Charlamagne's wrong. Okay, any and every time that, you know, Harvey Weinstein has even been mentioned, it has always been a reflection of what Hollywood is. That's why people call Hollywood Hollyweird. Okay, he's one of the biggest reasons. So Charlamagne, hey, I got nothing but love for you.
Who did that though? Another Hollywood person?
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein.
No, I'm saying who attacked Harvey Weinstein? Was it another person in Hollywood?
Well, there hasn't been a documentary on Harvey Weinstein just released yet, I would say. Nobody in his peer group or even outside of it has attacked him. However, there has been news reports, and, you know, the media ran wild with it for a moment. But as soon as these things came out about Harvey Weinstein, this alludes to the Jeffrey Epstein ideas. This is when they start to say Hollywood is looking a little weird.
Right, like the media.
Yeah,
I think what Charlamagne is saying, that another person in Hollywood has not like gone those same lengths to create something just yet, and if they did, he doesn't believe that they would say, oh, what does this mean for Hollywood with these two people going back and forth. I think that's kind of what he's saying. Yeah, so they seem a little different to me.
Nah, it's no different. And at the same time, Charlamagne's wrong. he's 100% wrong, man. There's been many a times. Again, nobody has even had to drop a documentary on some a white mogul inside of, you know, Hollywood or whatever. Like the next documentary that should be dropped is the dudes from Abercrombie and Fitch. How, you know, they were big fashion designers, and everybody from the late 2000s to the early 2010s was wearing all of their clothing. However, they would be going and, you know, getting male models and basically, you know, sexually assaulting them, you know. But nobody talks about that because, you know, in their communities, it just doesn't circulate the same as it does in our communities. I think that, you know, black culture, you know, sees these hip hop moguls or sees and cherishes our, you know, celebrities in a different light, put them in a different light, and we really, you know, we champion these people versus other, you know, communities. When it does come down to Harvey Weinstein, they're not that concerned unless it's tied to some political idea to where they want the tapes to be revealed. You know, and actually, now that I'm saying this, it kind of underscores what different cultures really put their importance to, you know, lay their values on and find their identity in. You know, there's other, you know, cultures out here who find their identity in politics. Then there's other cultures who find their identity in entertainment. That's why, again, when it comes down to this whole Diddy scenario, and if people questioning 50 Cent versus Diddy, whatever may have you, you know, it feels like there's an attack on Diddy, and it's a reflection on what hip hop has become. Just because Diddy has and is, you know, a piece, a chunk of people's lives, and is a chunk of what hip hop had became. You know, he was one of the Pied Pipers, so to speak. You know, but when it comes down to these movies and stuff like that, they definitely receive the same kind of backlash. That's why, again, like I said before, they got to talk about Hollywood isn't Hollywood anymore. It's Hollyweird. So Charlamagne, I love you, but you're wrong.
Are you gonna watch it?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm definitely gonna watch this documentary. That's another thing I'm gonna do on my trip.
You don't think that is aiding in the downfall of your friend Diddy here by you watching it and you supporting it?
Diddy is not my friend.
You wanted to pen pal him, didn't you?
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay.
However, I am a hip hop journalist.
You're not, but okay.
And I just want to make certain I have all my facts straight.
Hip hop commentator, I'd say.
Call it what you want. I call myself what I like. Josh Jermaine says, only in hip hop will a troll like a 50 Cent make a diss documentary on his op. That's hip hop in a nutshell. And that's facts. You know, like, what did they say in the 48 Laws of Power? Crush your enemy totally, you know? And I think that's what 50 Cent has kind of...
I don't think people are looking at 50 as the king of New York, though, from all of this. Like, even with him going into the film industry, I don't see people...
You don't understand.
So, okay, are people in New York are saying that then?
Well, look, you don't understand what the king of New York really means to folks out here, man.
What does it mean? Break it down then.
It means that you are numero uno, okay? Like, this is why when Kendrick Lamar said, I'm king of New York, king of the coast, one hand, I juggle them both. This is why it reigned through hip-hop so much, because to call yourself the king of New York means that you are number one. You're the head honcho. And 50 Cent coming up a little bit later after Jay-Z, after Diddy, he had always eyed himself for that number one spot. This is a fact.
Number one with what, though? Like, with how much money you make, with how much impact you're making in the world?
All of it through hip hop. You want to be number one. That's what it is. That's what it's always been about. The people, yourself. You know, you can claim that crown now. Like you got to be in hip hop to understand what I'm putting down.
But see, that's why I feel like people aren't looking at 50 Cent like that, because you're saying the people give him that crown. 50
Cent sees that opportunity, man. He sees the opportunity. Okay, that's what's happening. That is exactly what is happening. This is his opportunity to bury somebody who is a king of hip hop. You know, a king, a mogul in this joint. That's what I'm saying.
So why not go after everybody else in New York?
He don't need to. And actually, he actually does. He trolls Jay-Z from time to time. He may even troll Nas from time to time. Mm-hmm. So that's what 50
Maybe
does.
He should make some documentaries on them then.
He'll have to wait for it to actually, he'll have to wait for their downfall for it to make sense. Because what if 50 Cent dropped this in the whole hoorah and hoopla of the whole Diddy going to jail thing? It wouldn't hit the same. We still got to go through this joint first, but it wouldn't hit the same. People may have watched it, you know, they're going to watch it, but it might have been caught up in all the other hoopla and uproar of everybody else's commentary. So, you know, 50 Cent is like, nah, I'm finna drop this now, because I feel like, you know, this is the best way to do it, especially with all the other, you know, pictures behind, all the other pictures behind the jail cells we've been seeing with Diddy, and some of it's questionable. I don't know if
those
it's
are AI
or not.
Pictures.
Hey, so some of it may be AI.
I did see some videos though of him like doing something with some books or something like that. I don't think that was wrong, but the ones where they got like him with baby oil and stuff like that, like obviously that's all AI, y'all. Like, come on now.
Looking like? I saw a video, not a video, but I saw a picture of one of them she-males hugging up against Diddy, and Diddy was just cooling. But I don't know if that was real or not. So it is what it is. But I think 50 Cent doing what he is doing, again, like I said, I could never see myself doing that to my worst enemy. You know, I think, and I don't even think, I know for a fact. What
you can get about? Real petty, bro.
No,
you definitely can, bro. I know you. You definitely can, bro. And so I don't want to hear you ever.
God-fearing man.
Whatever, bro. The stuff that I know that you would do to people who you don't like no more. Come on now.
Like
you 100%.
Like what?
You 100%.
Like what?
You like to rub stuff in people's faces, bro.
When?
I can't say everything right now, but I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
No, I can't. I literally can't right now.
Yeah, because you don't got nothing on me.
Oh, I definitely do.
Juice don't got nothing on me.
Give me about a year.
I'm a good person.
Give me about a year.
I don't have a petty bone in my body.
And I can say a lot of stuff.
I know how to stand up and just walk away. Okay, that's what I know how to do.
All I'm saying is you 100% would be very petty in the same. Did that hit your ear? What? When I did that?
Nah, my earlobe was itching.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You know, you definitely would be petty like that. But I agree, Trey Tay. No one is saying 50 is the king of New York.
I'm telling you, man. Just watch what I'm saying. Watch what I'm a prophet. Watch and just see what I am saying. All right, because 50 Cent has been setting himself up.
But the thing is, I think people aren't calling him a king because he's so petty. Like, people don't respect the moves that he's making. And I feel like to be the king of New York, you got to have some form of respect from the people.
You don't think 50 Cent got respect?
I don't think he has a lot. I 100% don't think he has a lot. Like the fact that you sitting over here saying like, bro, you wrong for doing da 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 da. How many other people you think is thinking that? Or even how many other people of his peer group are thinking that? Like, bro, this is really disrespectful that you're even doing something like this. So I don't think just because of that he can get that title, because he's not earning it in the right way. Like I don't think he would get it just from trolling all the time. I don't, and making good films. I truly don't.
All right, we'll have to see. I think the future of what we're seeing as media, the idea of around it will change. And I want to throw this out there too, because some people, 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, and Kanye West, can go on and do and say whatever they want, and their fan base is still going to be their fan base. Their fan base will not move. Like Nicki Minaj going on and doing the Donald Trump thing and speaking at the UN. Her barbs still barbs. Kanye said everything he's done throughout his entire career. Kanye West is still Kanye West. It does not matter. You know
what? Don't matter.
What I'm saying is some of these people have a undying fan base, like a fan base that is so loyal to them that they can do whatever they want to do, and they're still gonna support them. Just like Donald Trump has said, I could shoot somebody in the middle of the street and they still gonna love me.
100%.
So it's people out there like that really don't.
But
give
that's
a damn
not the whole world, though, Ben. Like that's just their niche group of people who are diehard fans of them. When you talk about a person in the grand scheme of just the public, the general public, and not their fan base, that matters as well. Like people are 100% looking at Nicki like they crazy right now. Maybe not her fan base, but like a lot of people have lost respect for her. Same with Drake and what he did with putting that lawsuit through. Like people have lost respect.
People still want Drake.
Yes, his
Drake
fan base. Yes, and I still want to hear some Drake music, but I definitely lost a little bit of respect for him by him doing that.
Are you still going to go buy a ticket to go pull up to Drake?
I might not buy a ticket to a show, but I'll listen to a song if he got it pop. If I like the song.
So you're still down to support Drake?
In some way, shape, form, and fashion when it comes to music, sure. But I'm saying he has lost But I'm saying he has lost my respect to the point where I will never look at him like he's number one. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you could still listen to the music, but in the eye of people, I'm not gonna say he's number one. I'm not going to say he's number one just based off of how he handles things. So just because people have their own little groups and silos of their core fan base, yeah, they'll always have that. But I'm saying in the general scope of the public, you definitely can lose respect. And I think 50 Cent has lost respect. I think, like you said, Nicki, she has lost respect. And I think Drake has lost respect. I honestly do.
Yeah, I don't think they lost. Well, I think they may have lost respect of the
and
masses.
Diddy as well. I think people have lost respect for Diddy with all of this situation.
Yeah, no, Diddy's situation is crazy. People have. I mean, including myself though. Definitely gotta look at Diddy different, but you know, it is what it is, man. When you find out all these people's skeletons in the closet, you know, they're not as clean as they present themselves to be.
Now, I'm not saying that I 100% know everything, but it seems to me like Nas has been able to keep his reputation intact this entire time. Or am I wrong?
I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like people have kept their respect for him because he hasn't done no weirdo stuff. You know what I mean? But like even Jay-Z, I feel like people are starting to feel like what's really going on with Hov right now. You know, and I feel like he got some stuff could be brewing within the next few years. I'm not gonna speak that on his life, but I'm just saying, you know.
Don't just say nothing about Jay-Z. Don't say nothing about Jay-Z. Jay-Z and this whole this situation can't even be put in one sentence. All right.
What?
Jay-Z ain't never been on that type of time. I'm just saying I gotta protect Hov as much as I can until they try to come for him too. But Nasir Jones, God's son, has been on a roll, man. And Queens is always making it and Brooklyn's always taking it. I think that's how the phrase goes. And Queens is definitely doing their thing, man.
Why you feel like you gotta defend Jay-Z all the time?
I'm just throwing it out there because sometimes I like to do PR for him. That's all.
I know, but why? Like, what did it like? Why he got you on payroll?
I'm part of Rock Nation. I'll be telling you this.
Oh, so he got you on payroll.
I'm part of Rock Nation.
So why they don't be distributing your music? Okay.
I'm part of Rock Nation though.
But why? Or do you want to be a part of Rock Nation? Like, what is it about Jay-Z, I guess is what I'm saying, that you be on his nuts so hard?
I don't, look, see, that's pause. You got to pause that stuff right there, Juice.
No, I don't.
You got to pause, bro.
No, I don't.
Be on Jay-Z's nuts. That's for Beyonce.
No, you definitely do
I'm just speaking highly on another black man. See, when black men try to love on other black men, people got a problem with it. People got a problem with it. This is why ain't no brotherly love out here now. I got to be hard and everything, but soon as some BS go down, I can give that some energy. But I'm trying to love my brother.
Why do you feel like you have to be PR for Jay-Z? He don't know you. Why do you feel like you have to be PR?
Jay-Z knows me, man.
Are you crazy?
Jay-Z knows me. Jay-Z knows Benjamin. I'm telling y'all this.
You over here trying to manifest it and put it out there into the world and into the ether so it eventually happens. But I'm talking about right now, brother. I am talking about right now in this very moment. Why do you feel like you have to be PR for Jay-Z and Rock Nation?
I don't have to be. I choose to be.
I'm asking why. You're not answering the question.
I don't have to be. I choose to be.
Why do you choose to be?
I choose to be because you know what? I feel like,
He don't even know.
I feel like no, because I'm gonna give you an honest answer.
Come on, give me an honest answer.
Because when I see people doing good out there in the community or the communities around them or whatever, I just want to, especially when they're at the highs of the that they're at or whatever, I want to try to protect them as much as I possibly can, just as I would somebody on the lower level who's just a normal citizen. You know, there's people who are innocent in a lot of different scenarios or whatever, and I try to protect the innocence of them. Now, for other people, it's not the same. Some people gonna see stories run across their timeline and they just finna dive all the way into it. It's like the Chicken P situation, right? I didn't come up on here bash Chicken P. I've only met Chicken P one time, but I spoke good words on that man and said that he was innocent until proven guilty. However, there's other people who have microphones or have different platforms who already went to go bash this dude and say that he was a bad guy. So for me, I try to protect the innocence of people until I see otherwise. Even and God forbid something happened to you to where people try to say that Nona Juice was doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, hell no, she would never do that stuff. So
what if you know I'm doing that stuff? You gonna lie?
We gotta say this off microphone. This can't happen on air, bro. This can't happen on air.
They gonna pull this up randomly. 20 years.
Look, I plead the fifth.
That's hilarious.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah, no, your dying love for Jay-Z and Hove is.
And I will
very passionate.
I will put it this way though too, because as a young man, and I was listening to somebody over this weekend who was talking about hip hop and all the demonic things that happen to hip hop or whatever, and just going to go say this one line that this gentleman said actually did resonate with me. But he was like, if you're a young black man in impoverished neighborhoods who didn't have a role model, well, you're going to outsource that role model. You're going to go looking for a role model. And to some degree, Jay-Z, Nas, Kanye, Lil Wayne, KRS-One, they have been role models for me to find Benjamin. So, to come at them is almost coming at my DNA. But at the same time, they are just normal men just like I am. I'm my own man. Only one above me is God. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's just so interesting to me, because I just feel like as black people, we make like these musicians and these people who we looked up to as kids, like our literal heroes.
Right.
But I think it also makes it harder for people to accept that they could also be out here doing a lot of evil stuff.
Right. That's real.
And I don't really see that in other communities that heavily, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see it like that either.
Like, I'm trying to figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing that we get so connected to the people in these industries that we don't want to go against them at all, even if they are doing wrong, I
think that there are cultural differences. As I had pointed out earlier, it kind of goes to say what we value in our community versus what others value in their communities, right? Like, again, for us, a lot of us coming from, homes that may have not had two-parent households or whatever, and us just trying to find ourselves, the lost boy generation, the lost girl generation, whatever you want to call it, or whatever, had to find other resources. May it be somebody on the block who was a little bit older than us that could teach us some things, or somebody through our TV screen who, we look at and can identify with, who teaches us how to be and to grow up and dress, things of that nature. So I think we do those things in our communities because it comes from a lack of. However, if you grow up in other communities, they may value politics a little bit more. They may value the military concept idea a little bit more. So now you have those values being instilled within you, and now you look at the world in a totally different way, to where when you look at an entertainer, you just see somebody up there tap dancing. You don't see somebody you want to really truly become. And that's why they say certain fan bases are more finicky than others. Like, they go to say that basically white young white men between the ages of 18 and 24 are the most finicky fan base that you will ever have, because they're only there for that moment of time. But after they turn like 25, 26, get their life going, up and going or whatever, they move on and around. Versus other communities, the black community in general, when it comes down to the celebrities that we quote unquote idolize or whatever, they're in our hearts truly forever. So
Right. Because it seems like when it comes to, like, let's say other demographics listening to hip hop, that's like a phase that they go through up until like 100%. Their mid 20s or whatever it is. And then they switch it up and they go start their corporate jobs and go off to have families. And like their artists that they listen to aren't necessarily their heroes like that. Right. So I get what you're saying, because I have seen that. But it's interesting to me, because sometimes I feel like we do put our all and give our all so much to these entertainers when we really, truly, honestly do not know them. And we don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. And we don't know the fruit that they bear for real, until it does all come out. And just because you like them, for some people, it might be harder for you to accept that they might not be the best person, and they need help. Right. Really, honestly and truly, they need help. And so I don't know if that's healthy.
And even as I'm thinking about this right now, I'll throw this little nugget out there too for people to, to think about and do their own brain squeeze too, or whatever. How I just said in reference how black communities, idolize quote unquote our celebrities. Well, the celebrities in other communities may be a person like a Donald Trump. And that's why they have an undying love for Donald Trump. So.
Even with him, though, I'm starting to see some people who voted for him based off of the fact that they thought he was going to be a good businessman. Right. I see them losing respect for him, too.
Right.
Of course, he still has his core people, but I don't know. It's just all very interesting to me where we're all going to be in 10, 15, 20 years. Where is the state of the industry, state of politics, state of everything going to be?
Right. And the fact is, next year we have our Wisconsin gubernatorial race for the governor is about to happen and stuff. It's just one of these things where I think that when we look at this new campaign trail that people will be doing, we will see a lot of AI. We'll see a lot of AI campaign ads. Hell, they might rerun our campaign ad all over again.
I don't know why.
I mean, neither, but they might just do it and then edit out the person who was talking to and put somebody else up in there. But that's my thoughts.
But I don't think AI will be able to be used legally unless somebody did it, like,
they're figuring out the
on the low.
Of it. Yeah, they're figuring out the ethics of it right now as we speak, man.
Man, are they? Because I feel like they still ain't figured out the ethics of just regular content on Instagram that kids are able to see that is explicit. Like, let's be for real.
That is true.
I really don't know how AI is going to be regulated. We talk about that all the time, though.
Right. Well, only thing that I could not even assume, but just know is that the fact is that in this Diddy documentary, ain't no AI happening. Ain't no AI up in there. These are all real videos.
Yeah, it's so good so far. I can't wait to finish it up. It's like 3 more episodes. It's 4 episodes. So, I don't know. Anita Nicole said Jay and KRS are in different categories.
I mean, you know what, Anita Nicole, you could say that, but at the same time, that's where I was pulling all my information from as a young man just growing up. I legitimately, the 2007 Nas dropped Hip Hop Is Dead, and something sparked in my mind to be like, bro, go back and listen to what they call hip hop then, like for real. Because at that time, I was really only listening to Biggie. I was listening to a bit of Jay, and then Nas and Kanye and The Game. And I was like, you know what? Let me go back and see what KRS-One was about. Let me go back and see what Rakim was about. Let me really go back and do my due diligence and figure who everybody was. And then once I started to go down that rabbit hole of just pure hip hop, it made me form an identity around who I felt like I was as a black man. So, KRS-One is different from Jay-Z, and KRS-One definitely speaks a lot of good knowledge that kids today would. I think if KRS-One actually did come back out like for real and had like some kind of viral run, kids who are seeking information will fall in love with KRS-One because he speaks some stuff like, one of the ideas that he even helped me through the passing of my father and helped me to start realizing what actually occurred, when my father did pass, and basically one of his teachings was the idea that when you do lose an ancestor in the physical, you actually gain an ancestor in the spiritual, and you more than likely needed a spiritual ancestor to protect you on the new journey you were about to embark upon. And who better to actually help you embark upon that journey than your father, spiritually. So I was like, you know what? I got to take that with a grain of salt or whatever and soak it all up and help me cope. I'll tell you that. But I think for real, if KRS-One really did some stuff, these kids today who love the whole TikTok thing will love KRS-One for real, for real. Because that's what hip hop was about at first. It was about educating your brother. It wasn't about, spinning a block on your ops. It was about real life telling you what was going on out here, being aware and truly being woke and conscious of what was going on around you, not just falling in love with the money, cash, and hoes and all that type of stuff.
Right. That's why I don't know how the new generation views hip hop today.
Honestly, I don't think they take it as serious. I really don't. I think they see it as kind of what we said before, just entertainment. I think they just believe that is what it is and they keep it moving. Because one thing that I would personally love to see, and maybe I haven't been looking in the right places, but, for a hip hop historian as myself, a hip hop lover as myself, I know growing up in the barbershops and things of that nature, we have our hip hop conversations like, oh, Jay-Z's the best, Kendrick Lamar the best, no, Drake should have did this, J. Cole should have done that, whatever it may have you. Tupac is still great, whatever. I don't know if they having those types of conversations being, in their older teens or younger 20s. I would love to see it though. I would love to just know what's all on their mind and who they really do consider to be they top. Because right now it seems to me,
Young Boy.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Young Boy seems to be the top, but I don't
what's
know
that other guy?
I don't know the 2 and the 3 for them. Is it really NLE Chopper? Hopefully not, because I don't think he's on a level of an NBA Young Boy. I've listened to NBA Young Boy and I think he's dope. Be honest with you. But 2 and 3, maybe they throwing Kodak Black in there. Maybe they still on 21 Savage.
Uzi.
Yeah, maybe they are on Uzi. Shoot, I remember actually the first time I did go to Georgia and took a trip down to Georgia. Me and my little brother, we drove
Playboy Cardi.
It could be, and that's why he's so demonic. But we went down there. My little brother listened to Lil Uzi Vert album the whole way down there.
Ugh,
a solid 13 hours. He didn't give no F's about my ears.
Are you ready for your rabbit hole?
Yeah, man. This was actually a really great convo. I could have kept on talking about this for real.
Me too. One day, I want to ask you more about this whole, because I just don't understand how people are saying like it's cool for rappers to have ghostwriters and not write their raps, and then they're comparing it to singers. Like that to me just doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
one day we'll talk about it though, I guess.
Yeah, one day we can talk about it. Look, I'll just put it out there because I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole or whatever, but hip hop has evolved and changed, and I still don't think that it's acceptable to write, have different writers. Me personally, I write all my rhymes and I write verses or hooks for other people to do inside of my songs and things like that. But, for somebody to go out there and just have a whole ghostwriter and then, they just become the voice and claim to be the best rapper alive, I just don't think you can do that. You can be the best pop star. You can be the best at that, or
right.
But you can't be the king of hip hop, Drake.
I agree.
Like Drake, keep on doing what you do. It's good for the brand. It's good for music. But you can't be the king of hip hop, bro. And I think that's what the whole Kendrick and Drake thing on the underbelly of it all was about. It's about somebody who's a real MC going against somebody who's just a rapper.
The machine.
Yeah, became the machine. One of my favorite lines out of there is when Kendrick goes on to say, he's like, F20 20v1, this 1v20 if I gotta smack niggas that right with you. Well, just talking about his whole crew, talking about bring them all out, even AI. It don't even matter. I'm gonna go ahead and kill everybody. And that's truly the mentality you're supposed to have as an MC. Like, it don't matter. Come with your whole, come with your whole clique. I will body everybody. Like Nas has a verse on Who's the Man? No, You're the Man, where he says, I don't kill soloists, I only kill squads. Like that's what it's supposed to be about, fam. Like you gotta kill squads out here. You can't just be killing one person. You got a real live BB rapper from 8 Mile, killing the whole squad, Papa Doc and all of them. Just because if you the best, you really are the best. And you got to hold that near and dear to your heart. Otherwise, what you really doing this for? And you can do it for money, but then again, as I said before, when you do it for money, God walks out the room. The devil walks in. So that's probably why Drake felt like it was okay to sue. But anyway.
You want to hear something from our sponsors first?
Oh, thank you so much, Juice. Yes. Let's do it. Now, a word from our sponsors.
And sizzling on your stove. And while you were over there smearing your bagel, this little piggy went on a splatter spree. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you'll be crying wee over this fire in your home. So get Allstate.
Contact Milwaukee Allstate agent Cindy Johnson today at 414-445-2558.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
And we're back. All right. And I think it's time for us to go down the rabbit hole. La 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 la. Okay, Juicy Jammers. If you don't know what a rabbit hole is, it is a piece of information you find on the internet or experienced in real life that takes you from one piece of information you find to another up until your curiosity is satisfied, okay? And we could talk about, Juicy Jammers, how they are now saying that cannabis is terribly bad for you and can cause long-term effects that you're not able to even come back from. All right, we could talk about that, but no, I want to talk about, and I want to have this as a lengthier conversation. I should have brought this up to you before because when it comes down to this idea that I'm about to pose, Juice, this really has to deal with diets and what you're intaking into your body, and is it really that good for you? And I know you're one of those gym girlies, who's always trying to.
I'm a gym girly.
You're a gym girly. Oh, speaking of you being a gym girly, my girl's a gym girly now too.
Period.
Yep.
Bay is a gym girly.
Yeah, went to East Bank.
Oh, period.
It
she finally got a membership.
Got a membership, man.
Cool.
Proud of Bay. Shoot. But no, it has to deal with your diet and is the things you're eating really good for you. So without further ado, Juicy Jammers.
Certified.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get my thing. Okay. So today, Juicy Jammers, for November. Oh no, it's not even November no more. December 2nd, 2025. My rabbit hole question is really veganism good for you? All right, is veganism good for you? I saw something on my timeline just the other day, just actually yesterday, about an influencer who has been going on a raw vegan diet, raw veggie diet for over a decade now. And she actually just passed away. Or she passed away. And I don't want to go too into detail. I'm actually just going to allow this TikToker to tell you exactly what went down and why it happened. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's see.
Very well-known vegan influencer Jana Dart passed away from starvation after following a raw vegan fruit diet for years. If you were on the internet like 7 to 10 years ago, you probably saw something about the raw vegan fruit trend, raw till 4, frugivore, all of those different things. There are a lot of people on the internet doing this and doing it very publicly. That really felt like a collective experience that a lot of people who were in the wellness world, especially if you were in the vegan or plant-based world, like a lot of people had experience with that and typically had negative experiences with eating raw or trying to eat raw till 4, and learned that we need cooked foods in our diet and that we need a more well-rounded diet to meet all of our nutrient needs. My heart really goes out to Jana's family, and I send all of my condolences to her family and her loved ones. But really, this is such a sad and ultimately preventable story of what can happen when you just really go down this path of extremely problematic eating habits and really following a certain dogma and way of eating. And I say this as someone who has actually been vegan for 9.5 years now, but I'm also a non-diet nutritionist and I'm a health professional. So what comes first is always evidence-based science, and there is just a lot of data to show that raw vegan diets do not meet all your nutrient needs. I really feel like this story, as tragic as it is a really great example of what can happen when we get so dogmatic about one way of eating or one way of living, that this one thing is the cure-all to all of our health problems and all of our issues. And it's also a really great example of why we need to be taking health advice and health recommendations from qualified and very well-educated professionals, not influencers that we find online.
Boom, 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 boom. Now, here we go. Now, as crazy as that sounds, I definitely do believe that this woman is correct. Because truthfully, I ran across a story about like 2-3 months ago prior to this whole, vegan lady passing away that had sparked my curiosity even when it came down to what your diet was. So what she basically went on to go say is that, eating raw veggies doesn't supply you with everything that you need. And it took me further down my rabbit hole because a lot of people are always stressed about losing weight or getting the proper nutrients that they need, and I found out that there's actually a diet that is suitable for everybody, and it's specifically for you. It's not for everybody. Somebody else who didn't have that young lady's blood type, rest in peace to her, might have actually been good with a raw vegan diet, and it just intrigued me, y'all. So I want to read these things off to you, and then if you have this blood type, you should really consider these things before you decide a whole raw vegan diet. Because personally, me, I know somebody who went on a raw vegan diet. All they did was eat veggies, raw veggies, and then smoked weed. That's what they did. They was smoking weed and raw veggies. But because of the whole veggie diet and a lot of the veggie diets that people have, the burgers that they have or whatever is laced with soy. It ended up clogging up a lot of his arteries. He ended up having a whole bunch of blood clots from eating all the soy and smoking backwoods and things of that nature. So, but he's much healthier now. Shout out to my boy Kush Matt down there in Racine. But when it came down to the whole blood type idea, I got to thinking, and I was like, okay, so what kind of things should people be eating if they are looking for their specific diet? And I just want to throw these things out there. They go on to say that if you're O type positive or negative, you should be eating more high protein, lots of meat, limited grains, and they claim that to be the hunter type of blood type, because the O blood type is the oldest blood that actually was existent of man. It started back in Africa, so you're more of a hunter type, and you can eat those types of things. But if you're A type like myself, I'm actually A positive for Versity Blood Center.
Weren't we the same thing?
Were we? For real? You was A positive, bro?
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy how I always forget.
Gotta go back. But it says if you're A type, you should be eating more plant-based foods, less dairy, and they claim that this blood type is the farmer type because we more so our blood type had grew up on harvesting and basically farming. We're kind of like the inventors of the whole farming idea and the concept. But it made me even think about myself as I grew older. I couldn't, and I still right now can't really eat too much of dairy, or else my stomach really will start to I start to fart a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And
they say a lot of black people are lactose intolerant.
Very true, very true. But that's one of the blood types. They also go on to say when it comes down to the B type, it says actually the B type should avoid chicken. They can eat dairy and have a balanced diet. And it claims to be the nomad type of blood type because this blood type traveled all across the world, walking and things of that nature. And then the AB type is mixed between A and B, and you could have somewhat of a mixed food diet. But I just want to take y'all down a rabbit hole, man, because at the end of the day, I think we should all be healthy. But it made me really consider, like, dang, is just being a vegan really that good for you? Because your body still needs other kind of meats and other kind of nutrients. Celery, carrots, and kale isn't going to provide you the same things that a nice steak may provide you with. But anyway, that was the end of my rabbit hole. However, Juice, how you feel about that though?
I just think that you should listen to your doctors. I don't think any of us should be listening to TikTok people telling us what to do. That's just the first and foremost thing. It's just interesting though, because this girl was on a raw fruit diet. Mm-hmm. That's not all that is required when you're vegan. Like, there are so many other things that you can eat, and there are other success stories of people who are vegan and their entire lives are changed and they feel healthier, they feel better, they have better gut health and all of the things. So I think it really just depends on who you are, and that's why I say go to your doctor and confirm what you should or should not be eating. Just so you're safe with that. But it's just interesting, like, I have not thought of being vegan. I see Tabitha Brown, shout out to her. She was one of the first women who I've seen on social media that's like really promoting it and pushing it because it was better for what she was going through at the time with her health issues, and she has stuck with it. And she shows you how to make certain recipes and things like that. And I would love to try some of Tab's food. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I would love to try some of Tab's food. Also, shout out to Butterfly. Butterfly is only vegan and she makes some fire vegan meals, y'all. Like her butter burgers, I love them. I'm so upset that I never got one of her vegan soul food plates because she really do it up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? She got the kids involved in everything, and she loves it and she swears by it. Same with like a Tabitha Brown, they swear by it. So I think there are some pros with it, but like with anything, you definitely have certain cons.
Right.
So you just gotta be mindful and put all of that into consideration whenever you are trying to make a decision of what you should do for your health and the lifestyles that you choose to partake in.
Yeah,
Me personally, I like meat. I like protein. I like, all of those things, chicken, hamburgers, steaks, fish. Like I like all the things. Yes, I like all the things in moderation though, because even when you have too much steak is high in protein, but some steaks are higher in fats as well, and it could be higher in like cholesterol and things like that. So you just want to have everything in moderation. Too much of anything is bad for you.
No, I agree with that, Juice. Too much of any one thing is bad for you. Like, another fact that I actually know, and I was going to bring this up earlier, but like Steve Jobs is and always was like a fruitarian. That's another reason why like Apple.
Fruitarian?
Yeah. Like,
what's a fruitarian?
Somebody who just eats like raw fruits.
Only?
Yeah, fruits only. He was a fruit only guy.
That sounds like what this lady was doing, and she died.
Exactly, and that's another reason that led to Steve Jobs' death. He ended up developing pancreatic cancer. And you would think that if you only eating fruits or you only eating veggies, that you more than likely be healthier than the next. But see, that isn't always true.
It's not always true. And I think it has a lot to do with what we're putting on our food prior to. Like they're saying when farmers and stuff are spraying different pesticides and stuff to keep rodents and bugs and stuff away, some of that stuff isn't healthy for us either. And that's why I think healthy foods have even had recalls at certain stores, because you truly can never know what's in it or what's going on unless you grown it yourself, which most of us in our communities don't know how to do anymore.
No, that's true. Me and my girl, when we go grocery shopping and we grabbing our veggies. I'm surprised
he didn't go to a doctor and the doctor tell him like, hey, you should probably eat some other foods, brother.
That's real. I know he got his first diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, I want to say in like 2003 or 2004. And, 5 years later, he would inevitably pass away.
And honestly, I think when it comes to these cancers and stuff like that, I don't even know if it's in what we eat anymore. I think it could be something in the air. It could be something in the environment. They say, like, sometimes the candles now at certain stores are not good for you to be sniffing on and stuff. It's just so much out here, man. It's so much out here.
A bunch of carcinogens, man. And that's why, I believe America is cancerous, because there's a lot of things that we do for, the buck. We'll go ahead and cut down on the ingredients or how much the ingredients cost just so we can, save money. Again, that's what I'm telling everybody right now. You better be looking at, your foods that you were buying, because each and every one of these distributors, I'm certain are thinking about cutting costs. And when they decide to cut costs, that means they cut the cost of ingredients that they use to make your product, whether it may be a Chick-fil-A, a McDonald's, a Taco Bell. Or
Chick-fil-A don't hit the same.
Bro, it really don't, fam. Like, I grew up on Chick-fil-A.
Hit the same.
Dog, like, they fry. I used to really love their fries.
So greasy now.
Yeah, their fries be greasy, but they also, like, they get super, like, stale and stiff, like, 3-4 minutes after you get them. Chick-fil-A don't hit the same no more. They barbecue sauce that they had don't hit the same anymore. Like, I grew up off of Chick-fil-A. I know exactly what Chick-fil-A is supposed to taste like. I had the first iteration of it. I had the second iteration of it. And I feel like now this is the third iteration of Chick-fil-A. That's why they out here, trying to see what's happening, trying to switch up their menu in different select spots, doing macaroni and cheese or doing mashed potatoes or doing this, doing that. It's like, dog, Chick-fil-A is just doing too much, man. They trying to grow too fast, too quick, and that's why they're gonna fall off sooner than later.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I don't want to see them fall off, but I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. But like Josh says in the chat, you have to be careful with everything you eat. We starting to eat clone 3D meat and plants. And honestly, I think that's going to be the gateway to how they get us comfortable with starting to eat these 3D foods, because they're going to be like, oh, well, you don't know what's on the pesticides and stuff that's on your fruit and vegetables, so it's almost safer if you just have it printed where you know exactly what it is. But watch this 5-10 years from now, we all gonna be making food in our houses, and that's how they gonna present it. It's like, go back to the when you used to farm and have gardens in your own backyards, and now have your own 3D food printer where you'll never run out of food, or you can control what it is that you want to do. No more grocery shopping. Some marketing. All you need is marketing for everything. Diddy knew that.
Yeah, that's facts. Marketing is very powerful. It's a brainwashing tool, to be honest with you. But I think you're right, though, Juice. I remember, watching different shows that used to showcase what the future would look like and stuff. And one that used to be on Disney was called Feel of the Future. And I remember Feel of the Future. They used to, that was cold.
Right.
But they used to have like a spray can where they used to be able to spray the whole dinner. Like if they wanted a roast with mashed potatoes and carrots, they'd take the spray can. And now you got your whole dinner. Or other, shows I used to watch used to just be like, hey, there's the microwave. Boop. You open up the microwave or whatever, and there's your food. So maybe the microwave would be like the new 3D printer, and you print your eggs, you print your whatever meal that you want. I don't think it's safe, but
no, not right now.
You get your stomach full, it'll make a turd, as they say.
Make a what?
It'll make a turd.
Whew. That's what people will say?
Yeah, people do say that. Like, you just they go eat whatever they need to eat so they can just, have their stomachs full. That's why we eating all this garbage now, though. So the marketing that happened behind it, we've grown accustomed to it, and we've also normalized all these ideas. Like, and I'm glad that you have brought that up, too, about the whole fruits and veggies, because when it comes down to me and my girl, when we grab our veggies from the supermarket and stuff, we grab our fruits from the supermarket, we go back home and we wash them ourselves. And at first, I'm not going to lie, shout out to Bae, I definitely thought that she was crazy to be washing her veggies and fruits as she does. I thought rinsing it off was good enough, but no, you need to literally put your fruits and veggies in like baking soda and vinegar, let it sit for about a little solid, like
some people use lemons and stuff.
Some people use lemons, but after you look at that water, you'll start to realize like how much dirt was really on that apple that you wanted to eat right then and there, or how much dirt was on a potato, how much dirt was on a carrot, how much dirt was on a celery. Like, you'll start to figure those things out and be like, you know what, I gotta get into the habit of doing these things, or else I might die from eating these things because of all the pesticides that actually get put on them. Now I got cancer.
Have you ever had a bunch of bugs come out your food?
I've actually never had a bunch of bugs.
A worm?
Nah, I've never seen that. I've seen those types of things on like TikTok and stuff, but I've never seen them personally in my life. They say strawberries is the dirtiest.
Yeah.
So maybe that's when it'll happen for me, but I've only ever seen dirt flakes and, just little other microorganisms.
Debris.
Yeah, other debris or whatever that comes down. That's a better word for it. Other debris that comes off of the food. But nonetheless, I'm happy that we're cleaning our veggies. We're cleaning our, fruits, because I don't want to eat none of that nasty stuff.
Right. No, that's facts. That's fair. Yeah. Good stuff. Would I ever go vegan? Who knows? Maybe one day.
I think I'll always
gotta ask your doctor.
Yeah, I'm gonna always do a mix. I do way more veggies now in my life than I ever did before, but at the same time, it's still a mix of like, chicken in there or shrimp in there, some kind of meat, because I like meat.
I bet you do. All right, let's get ready to wrap up the show with a bow. I want to get up and stretch. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Stretch then, bro. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Hear a word from our sponsors as we wrap up the show with a bow, getting ready for our drop of juice, which I'm excited for.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm thick-cut bacon sizzling on your stove. And while you were over there smearing your bagel, this little piggy went on a splatter spree. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you'll be crying wee over this fire in your home. So get Allstate.
Contact Milwaukee Allstate agent Cindy Johnson today at 414-445-2558.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
And
we're back.
All right, you guys, we are about to wrap up the show with a bow, giving you our drop of juice on this Tuesday. I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels like a Friday. It feels like it's not Tuesday today.
Because we're not gonna be here tomorrow.
We are not going to be here tomorrow. Ben's on vacation. So tell the people all the things that they can know, for the week.
Okay, so all the things that they can know. So we will be doing reruns of our best episodes, so feel free to come and wake up each and every morning between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. to check out what we feel like our best work was thus far.
Yes.
Otherwise, make sure to continue and follow us on Instagram. And to keep yourself warm, go to gemwithjuice.com, grab a hoodie, purchase some merch, and
subscribe.
And subscribe.
Because I'm looking right now, it says we have 299 subscribers.
We need one more subscriber for 300.
I want 300.
Yeah, we need one more subscriber.
And yeah, I want to get to 300. So yeah, we'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, and we're back Wednesday, right?
Yes, we are. We'll be back.
Back Wednesday morning. So you got about a week without us. Oh, whatever will you do? Whatever will you do? You're gonna watch our videos that we have up at the same time, 7:00. You know where to find us. Jamming with Juice. Make sure you're still sharing everything. Make sure you are subscribing. Like I said, make sure you're liking things and commenting and truly engaging with what it is that we got going on, that we are building here. And yeah, I'm so excited for it. My drop of juice is gonna be I can't wait to finish the rest of this Diddy documentary. I'm not gonna lie to you. This Diddy documentary so far has taught me so much, y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all heard me when we ended up getting cut off and we had to restart the stream, but I had no idea that Diddy had to go through a traumatizing experience of one of his celebrity basketball charity events, having claimed the lives of 9 people from a stampede, because so many people wanted to go to this event and they bum rushed the door and it caused like issues and 9 people passed away. I had no idea that happened, but that was like the start of Diddy becoming this national face, this national name, because at the time he was just like an intern. But the more you know, y'all, the more you know.
The more you know, the better your life can go. All right. But shout out to everybody out there who's been supporting us, paying attention to us. I love y'all. Pray for me on my trip down to Florida.
Yeah, I hope you have a safe. Are you gonna get a rental, bro? You should get a rental.
We'll see. Shout out to Kawanda. I'm coming down there to Miami, so we'll see what happens then.
Yes. You gonna go to some beaches?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Look, I ain't never been to Florida before.
What's the weather like? Is it like really hot there still?
It's just lukewarm. It's like 60, 70. But actually, that's perfect for me, to be honest with you. I don't really like it to be too hot. 80, 90, kick rocks. 60, 70, we in there.
Okay. Well, we will see y'all next week. You already know where to find us. It's Jamming with Juice, baby. I am your girl, Noni Juice, always keeping it juicy. Shout out to Benjamin.
It's amazing.
And yeah, y'all sip on that. Have a good one. Have a safe rest of your Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. Can't wait to catch up with you guys again next week. All right. Make sure you guys are here bright and early on Wednesday morning, y'all. 7 a.m. I can't wait to hear how Ben's trip went.
Shout out to my boy, Josh.
Yes. All right, you guys. That's it. See y'all later. Thanks for tapping in today. Follow us on Instagram.